I'm not going to use my teacher voice because I'm losing it. It's near gone. I usually use the stare. That works even better. So, but it works. Not this stare, but the stare. I'm running for the 7th district. My opponent is Elijah Cummings. He's been around forever. We think he should be home with his grandkids, bouncing them on his knee, and leaving it for other people. And I think this is a great opportunity for others, such as myself, Greens, to really go in and shake up the House of Representatives. We're seeing a major sea change now in Congress and in the United States. We don't know what's going to happen. You know, we have Sanders running, we have Trump running, we have the Democrats running, we have the Republicans running. Could it be a four-way break? We don't know. Nobody can really pretend that they know what's going to happen. But I think this is a great opportunity for the Green Party to really show that there is a real, true alternative to all that's been going on for so many years. We're living under an oligarchy. Nothing has changed. The problem that we see that I have with Congressman Cummings is every time I've called his office for, to vote a certain way, I knew he was going to vote that way. He had that reputation as being a liberal, as a progressive, and so on. But he's always stopped at one point and never taken that next step forward, leaving us in the back, in the lurch, in the dark. Examples. Single payer. He's been a very strong advocate in the past, vocally. But when we needed him, what happened? He went with the health insurance industry. He went with President Obama because President Obama was a new president for his party, and his loyalty, Mr. Cummings' loyalty, was to the party, not the people who elected him. We have issues with the banks. He supported the bankers. The time when President Obama needed him to bail out the bankers. That's not us. Who's going to bail me out? Who's going to bail you out? Look at the whole healthcare issue and the crime that we're being faced with the ACA, Affordable Care Act. Just as a personal example, I might be fined $1,800 because I did not put my wife on my health insurance plan. $1,800. Where am I going to come up with that? Just because I refuse to take part in buying a product that I know is faulty. It's corrupt. This is not a health care bill. This is an insurance reform bill. And we, as regular folks here, even though there's some benefits in the ACA, we're forced to buy a product that we don't want. To me, that's economic fascism. We have to put a stop to this kind of manipulation of our lives to benefit the 1%. I've always been a watermelon green. Green on the outside, red on the inside. I've been involved in elections going back when I was flipping hamburgers, and I wrote on my, if you remember in the 60s and 70s, those paper hats that Geno's employees used to wear, and Burger King and all those others. They would write, what I did is I went back and I wrote McGovern on my hat. So my manager went in the back and he put Nixon on his. So I knew that this was a contested kind of election. Hey, this is interesting. But in real life, and about 4 years later, I then did work for the Fred Harris campaign. I canvassed up in New Hampshire. We came in 5th. He blamed his volunteers. So if anybody is a volunteer coordinator here, don't screw your campaign. Your candidate is going to get angry with you. So be careful what you do. But years later, I did become the Green Party candidate for City Council in 2004. It was a very strong campaign. We took on the city establishment. We had a large slate of candidates, and it showed here in Baltimore and throughout that we are a voice. Even though it was a quiet voice, we are a voice that is now shaking that system. It was a great race, I think, that I ran. I came in second, It was a two-person race. But we really made a difference because we had, as you said before, signs everywhere. And we really showed O'Malley and Maggie McIntosh that we can shake up the establishment especially. I'm proud to say that I was publicly insulted by Martin O'Malley. That shows that we really were making a difference. So we were. Of course, I didn't win. I was running against a former liberal icon. It was Mary Pat Clark. So I know once she and I sat down to lunch one day and I told her, she told me, I said, okay, all right, for the next 6 months, I'm running an election that I know I'm not going to win. But it was still getting the voice out. Because the thing that I'm most interested in, not just the issues. I mean, we have federal issues that I'm running on, foreign policy issues. I'm a member of Jewish Voices for Peace. I'm an anti-Zionist, and it really pisses me off when people say that it's anti-Semitism if you oppose Israel. No, if you are, to me, it's Jewish ethics to oppose Israel. Yeah. Right. Israel is an apartheid state, and we should not be spending billions of our dollars yearly on not just Israel, but Saudi Arabia as well. These are violent, brutal governments that oppress their own people. We as taxpayers should not be giving our okay by supporting these regimes in the Middle East. We need to have a complete realignment of our foreign policy. We need to pull out of NATO. We need to end our military bases abroad. We have over 800 in over 100 countries. We need to end our military imperialism. Stop it now. Educational issues. I am a teacher. I've been involved in education for many, many years. Common Core maybe is going. We got to get rid of it. We got to put the nail in that coffin. We have to end the privatization of our public schools. We have to end the union busting of our teachers' unions, which President Obama was one of the leads in that. I mean, we think of him as this liberal, this progressive. He's probably the most anti-labor president we've had since Reagan. The most anti-education president ever. And the most anti-civil liberties since Nixon. Yet people think he's a liberal, a progressive. We need the Green Party to show in Congress and in city councils all over the country that the Green Party is a different voice. We listen to the people because we are the people. We don't have our bank accounts, overflowing. Some people are near destitute, some people are bankrupt, some people are just making ends meet. That's not Congress. That's not city council. And that's what we need to do. We need to change the direction that the American government is going. Take it away from that 1%, give it back to the 99%, and put those bankers, I was going to say something else, put those bankers in jail.
All right.
All there.
Right. All right, man.